morning, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the show. It is episode 310, May 31st, 2022. Whew. And I'm joined once again by Kyle Klingman up in Cedar Creek, Iowa. Kyle, how are you?
Doing awesome, man. It's this time of year, man. There's too much going on, and I like that. U20s, U23s, 2 Final X's coming up. This is the time of year to be alive for wrestling.
I know everybody talks about the NCAA season and the high school and college season in March, but man, you just give it a couple months and multiply it by X factor, and you have the best wrestling in the country on multiple levels and multiple age groups right around the corner. It's really exciting. As you said, World Team Trials just happened. Final X in Stillwater this week. Final X in New York City. The following week is this Friday the 3rd. The following Wednesday the 8th. In New York, and we'll determine our world team. We'll have 30 spots laid out and ready to go with Greco, men's freestyle, women's freestyle, all set for the World Championships in Belgrade, Serbia, September 10th to the 18th, I think, or something there about, pretty close, but really excited, and I want to get to today's guest and bring him on. It's Zahid Valencia. He was the World Team Trials Challenge Tournament champion at 86 kilograms. He'll be taking on David Taylor at Final X in New York City. Zahid, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. Just excited to be here. Excited for this match coming up. So that's pretty much it for now.
Yeah. So I mean, you already talked. They're like sitting outside in sunny Tempe. Yeah. But you let us in on a little secret. Maybe you had mentioned this. Maybe I heard this somewhere before. But you highly considered going to Purdue, and maybe you'd have been a Boilermaker. Maybe we're having this conversation, and you're in Indiana. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was. I was really considering, almost verbal. We formed a great relationship with Scott Hinkle, and kind of just like where his head was at. The school went a different direction, and they got let go, which ultimately had us figure out what other schools we wanted to go to. And then, of course, I've told the story before. Zeke got the job. We came in and became Sun Devils. But no, it's crazy. It's crazy that I was so close to being a Boilermaker. Because now I can't imagine myself being anywhere else but a Sun Devil.
Yeah. What was it? You said Hinkle. It was, I don't know what you said. His vision or whatever he laid out to you, you really liked. Like, do you remember any of the details or concepts of what he said that drew you in?
I mean, there was a lot. I mean, I think it was just more of a person, and like I knew I was gonna feel comfortable, and I got to know some of the guys out there. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is something that I like to be a part of. It's so hard to remember exactly what it was, but yeah. It was. I think it was just more the community that they had, but coming here to ASU, that was the vision of like Zeke Jones that made us commit, and it wasn't just about winning it wasn't just about winning national titles, becoming world and Olympic medalists. So that was where my head was at, and I was excited for that.
Yeah. And not, you haven't won them yet, but like the foundation is laid, right? You had the college career, you did great, and here you are with Mark Perry and Zeke and everybody else at ASU. Has it turned out like you thought? The environment, like you're not on the world medal stand yet, but the foundation and the path, is it what you envisioned? Considering now that you're post college.
No, I mean, it's been crazy. You can't really imagine everything that's going to happen. Obviously, growing up, it was always 4 high school state titles, 4 NCAA titles, and then obviously world and Olympic gold. So, I mean, that's the plan, but it never happens the way you want it to. But I've just learned to really enjoy the journey and just ultimately be happy in life and in what you do. And, I mean, I loved my 5 years of college, and I won two NCAA titles, and that was enough for me. Obviously I wanted 4, and then now, I'm going to Final X wrestling. David Taylor, who this is the match I've been wanting for a long time. So I mean, it's somewhat where I want to be headed. To go into the world and Olympic stage, but the little parts in between, it's nothing like I envisioned.
You just envision the ultimate best case scenario, which is like, I guess, where you want your head to be at. So that's great.
Perfect. You never lose a match again. I mean, that's ultimately what you want, right? But you don't grow that way.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. I guess speaking of growing, I don't think Mark was there, Perry, when you were getting recruited or when you first got to college, but he is now. And man, going back to Gilman and Aymar and just a lot of people who have had a lot of success worked with him and had a lot of good things to say about him. What's your experience with Mark as a coach and relationship like with him?
Oh, he's awesome. We have a great relationship. He just knows exactly what it takes to be on the top. And he's good at, positionings. It's not really, coaches come in and they try to teach you your moves and how to do a single leg and stuff. At this level, like he treats us like pro athletes. Like, you know what to do. You've been here in the stage. And I'm just going to tell you, hey, I think you should do this, even outside of wrestling, this conditioning part, this lift. And then just like positioning, like, okay, this guy grabs your wrist. Just hold it, single leg, just little positioning technique stuff that has helped me grow. And just the way he manages my matches, especially when I'm out there, if I'm getting too emotional, if I'm trying to, score too many points, he's like, hey, slow down. Let's not get emotional. And it kind of just, he knows what to say for me to get the best out of me, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think he's got a good track record. And I want to watch a couple videos. And this first, well, both, I guess, will be from the World Team Trials. And this first one's against Andrew Morgan. I didn't see it in venue. I was doing something else, obviously. But you got a really, really tight front headlock. So we'll just kind of let this one roll. And you can kind of walk us through this. Well, Tyler, whenever you're ready, we can kind of watch this. That's you in the blue, Andrew Morgan in the red. I think it might have been a quarterfinal.
Yeah, this was the quarters, and yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to turn. I'm trying to get points. I get mad that they get stopped. You can see his legs posted, so I'm not doing the choke. It's when they stop it is when it's gonna hurt because it's just gonna get tighter and tighter the more I try to turn for the points. That's all I'm trying to do is score points, and I'm gonna squeeze the heck out of it. But as you can see, I'm trying to turn him. I'm not sitting there just getting the choke and trying to make him go out, but it's ultimately him sticking the leg out that's causing him to choke himself out. Really, that's how I look at it. I'm not gonna get him a rear naked choke and choke him, but I have a head and an arm, and it should be a legal move, but they try to stop it sometimes.
Well, it's not illegal, right? They didn't take any points away from you, did they?
Yeah, they didn't take any points away.
And they gave you 6. Right? You got to take down or I guess, did you get 3 turns on that?
I get another turn right here. I think he shoots in and I go back, I'm pretty sure, or go behind. And
did you choke somebody out at Olympic trials? Or did somebody go out?
Nate Jackson went out on me too. Same thing. He tries to post his leg and stop it. I mean, just like you're supposed to do. You don't want to give up the points, but if you're gonna do that, then it's gonna pass you out. But yep, that's another one right there.
And he's awake this time, right?
Yeah, he's awake. And then they stop it. They didn't let me because he said I was across the throat, but I have a head and an arm, so I don't get. It's gonna be a throat regardless.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I forget how I finished it. Probably like another takedown snap. Yeah, right here.
That's that. Have you ever gone out from a front headlock?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been out from anything actually.
Okay. And is that something like, are you practicing getting that as tight as possible, or are you just working on the torque? Try to get him through.
I'm just working to trap the arm so I don't get drugged by. It can't limp out, and I focus on the arm and just getting this across so that way it spins his body. If I could just get his shoulders across and get my 2, I mean that's ultimately what I'm focusing on. but it literally gets tighter as soon as you stop it, and I start twerking. Like I can feel it; it's getting tight, but it's because they're trying to stop it. You know.
Yeah. Well, of course they're gonna try to stop it.
I know, but if it hurts that bad, then turn. That's what I say.
I feel like
If they pass out, this should be the end of the match. I don't know why they let him wrestle again. It's like
well, it's not MMA,
it's not MMA, but still.
but you got the turns. I mean, clearly
Yeah, I got the
he was
point,
out. So
yeah.
so this kind of sets up. I know you had a semifinal, but we're gonna go past that. This sets up a finals against Mark Hall. How many times do you think you've wrestled Mark Hall? Or let's go back. What do you think's the first time? How old do you think you were the first time you guys wrestled?
I was like 8 years old at one of the Tulsa kickoff or Reno, one of those.
Who won?
I did. I was I won every single one until the headgear pull.
Okay.
So growing up, I wrestled him like 8 times growing up, and then was 8-0, and then lost to him at the semifinals and nationals, and then at the Penn State duel at Penn State. So two losses to the 10 I've won, I think.
Yeah.
10, 12.
Tell me about the let's just talk about the headgear pull for a second. I don't have that video, but it's weird. I think for anybody who doesn't know, the set the stage was NCAA semifinals. You guys were both freshmen, if I am correct. Tight match. You get a takedown. Kale throws a challenge brick. Said you pulled the headgear, and they win the challenge, and that's ultimately the difference. What do you remember about that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was trying to score. I mean, I think ultimately I was on the offense, even though it was tied, and I go in for the shot, and my thing was my thumb that gets stuck in his chin, chin piece of his headgear, and that actually stopped me from getting my full momentum. I get into the shot, and then I finish 10 seconds later. So I was just remembering I was upset that the headgear didn't cause me to get the takedown. I was in there fighting for it, ended up on top. And if I'm going to pull the headgear down, I'm going to pull it from the back and rip his head down. You know, that's why would I grab his chin where it comes up off of a shot? So everything that they were looking at, yeah, my finger was caught in there. So I guess that's the rule. But it should be if it was intentional or unintentional, you know. So, but as I said, life goes on. The sun went up the next day. It's just a match, and I still had a great year. I was undefeated up to that point. Came back and took a strong third.
Have you some guys would have a meltdown or just get really upset and you're like the sun came up like you just kind of shrugged it off. We're talking about the potential to have an undefeated freshman year, which I think Kale and maybe Imar are the only people to do. Maybe somebody else did. I'm not thinking of, but you're like going from potential legendary status to at best a 3-time national, which is great, right?
Yeah.
At best a 3-time national champ. And did you just shrug it off in the moment, or are you just that much shrugging it off years later?
No, I mean I was upset, but people come up to me and they were saying like, "Oh, the ref screwed you, this and that." And I tell people what my dad used to tell me when growing up. He's like, I've never lost a match because of the ref. Because at the end of the day, if I took the mark down 5 times, the score would be 10-0, So I should be able to do what I can to win all my matches and not leave it up to the ref. And I would think I was 32-0 going into that match, or something like that. And so I just think of it as like my whole season as a whole. I was just like, I had a great year, and I'm only a freshman. How many people get to do that? And that was literally like the next day where I was just like, no, I'm fine. Let's come back and destroy the next 2 guys I had. And I had Zach Brunson. I think I tech pinned him in like a minute, and then I beat Miles Amim 15-4. I just put it on him. So. That's just how I like to live, man. Just be happy, and then don't take them too much to heart, because this is what I'm gonna do for years on. If I lose and just get mad at myself, then it's not worth it. If I'm completely just just so mad and unhappy, then it's not worth it. I think.
It's like you took your own advice and you're like, dude, don't trip.
Don't trip. Don't trip. That's the mantra.
That's great, man. Okay, so freshman year, the headgear pull, he did beat you in Rec Hall. I don't know what do you think was the difference in that match? Was it the crowd? Was it overwhelmed? Did he just beat you just because? Were you in bad shape?
There was a lot to go to it. I mean, obviously it's hard. It's hard to wrestle at Rec Hall, and I think I was just was really cocky. I thought since I was undefeated, won nationals that year before, I came back, and at the beginning of the year, I was just doing whatever, just practicing lazy. I was trying to have too much fun in the wrestling room. That's what I taught people. You can't have too much fun in the wrestling room. You're supposed to have fun out on the mat when you're competing, because I was just lollygagging, just having too much fun. The practice is supposed to suck. It's supposed to hurt. You're supposed to go through the grind. So that way you're supposed to have fun when you're out competing, because there's nothing you can really do when you're out in the match. In the practice room is where you're going to grow. So I feel like I just thought I was, the shit. I was just like, oh, yeah, no one's going to beat me. And I was humbled really fast. And I came back and I knew what I had to do, because I know what kind of work has to be put in order to be at the top. And that's what I did, and got my revenge. This little guitar smash at the NCAA finals.
So you said I knew what had to be done. Like, was it immediate change to you at practice and the way you were pushing yourself?
Yeah, it was as soon as I lost, I knew what I had to do. I think we got our asses beat as a team too. So we were in the locker rooms and we really looked inside of ourselves and looked at our teammates and said, this has to change. We have to do something. And I think a lot of the people in there started to grow together and put in a lot more work.
Yeah. Okay. And you already set the stage, right? You got the revenge at NCAA's. He plays the guitar in Rec Hall. You play the guitar and Smash It, which was one of the best celebrations I think maybe I've ever seen, because there's so much significance to it. So let's skip to the World Team Trials, match 2. We'll go, Tyler, producer boy, man. If you go ahead and cue this up, Tyler's a man, definitely. Well, let's just kind of take it. This is match 2, I believe. I think you won the first match 6-0. So Mark's in the blue, you're in the red, and kind of same thing here. You can just talk us through what you're thinking or feeling.
After that first match, we both went to the back, to the practice room, and I could see him. He was hurting. He was out of breath still from that first match, and it took me a while too. Obviously, I was tired, and just because I was wrestling hard, I'm supposed to be tired, but my recovery was well. We trained for 3 matches, so I came back and I tried to just pull on the head as much as I can. And, obviously Mark's trying to wrestle a little different, try to get over unders. But I don't think he wanted to do too much. He wanted to keep it as close as possible and then try to sting me at the end. But I just kept wiring on him, tried to get my front headlocks, my snap downs, constant pressure forward.
How much different... you're like, he's trying different stuff, obviously, because the first match didn't go his way. You guys have wrestled, I don't know, 6, 8, a dozen times maybe over the years. How much different is match to match? Are you feeling pretty much the same guy, or are there a lot of adjustments on either side?
I don't think it's too different. I think just small adjustments. Like, I think I wrestled different in the second match than I did in the first, just because I kind of felt what I needed to do. Like, I knew he was going to get tired. So instead of more shots, I just stayed on the head for a little longer for the first period. Try to get my front headlocks and not necessarily score right away, and just wear his neck down, his back, and just try to get him as tired as possible. Just pulling on the head. I knew he was going to get frustrated.
Was that a conscious decision to shoot less and work on the head more? Like, going into the match, was that a tactic you thought, this is what I need to do, or maybe I should use this approach? Or was it more like, once you guys got your hands on each other, that's just kind of how it went?
No, that was before. Like, after the first match, immediately after I walked back, I said, yeah, he's done. I'm just gonna this second match, I'm gonna start wearing on his head, and his feet are gonna get slow. I'll be able to take him down, and he's gonna get tired, and eventually just want to give me points is what I was thinking in my head. And I mean, in the back, you have Brandon Slay and these coaches, I see him and they're like practicing McFadden shooting in on him, and he's like faking on him, and he was just hands and knees the entire time. Like, hands and knees is like for a sprawl. So I told myself, oh, if he's going to do that the entire time, he is going to get tired. So I'm just going to fake as much as I can, and I'm going to have him going up and down for his sprawls just to get him as tired as he can.
Gotcha. You mentioned a couple times watching or observing him in the back in between matches, and maybe making adjustments based upon what you see, either how tired he is or isn't, or what kind of tactics maybe he's coming up with. Is that something, not that you've wrestled a ton of 2 out of 3 series, but you have before, is that something that you'll, or maybe even before, if you're going to wrestle somebody in the semis or the finals, do you like to maybe pick them out in the back and keep an eye on them a little bit?
Yeah, I like to see where their head's at. And mostly it's just, I think I use it as a head game, just so they know that I'm watching, and anything that Slay's telling him, or because Slay's very big on not just, just saying what he has to do. He actually shows the move, like you saw right now in the corner circle, or get the underhook. So I'm just looking. I said, okay, if this is what you're gonna do, it's not going to work.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, but so 2-0 at the break, 2-0, right? Some people be like, man, it's only 2-0. But are you feeling pretty good about where you are?
Oh yeah, I felt really good. I said 2-0, this is perfect. And I felt it. He was done. He just wanted to keep it close, is what I was thinking at that point. Try to save some face.
And you're just putting your foot on the gas, huh?
Yeah, this is where I start. I think picking it up, a little bit more fakes, more snaps. I was smelling blood.
Yeah, they came a little easier now, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 points in 3 minutes, and I just got 4 points in less than 30 seconds.
So at this point, are you thinking I want to finish, I want to get a tech, or are you just thinking like second by second? Like just keep moving?
Oh, no. The thing is, I want to get a tech every time, and that's sometimes what bites me in the ass. I'll go, try to get a tech, sometimes in the first period. This one I knew I could get the tech. Maybe it'll take me 4 or 5 minutes, 6, the whole time. But right here, I wanted to put an exclamation point on the victory and go out with the 10-0 win.
So we're still halfway through the period, I guess.
Yeah.
So plenty of time to score 2 more takedowns. Did you ever feel threatened in either match, even just on a score?
No, I don't think I ever did. I felt pretty good, Like Mark's, I didn't feel threatened because he's really good defensively and he has slick stuff, but I knew that I could finish clean. I'm not gonna get too wild, and I don't think he has that much of an offense. Like, if he's down, I don't think he could put up 8 points unless it's like a throw or he does a pin, like he did in the semis. But I know those things are coming, so I'm not gonna fall for his little tricks. So if it's 2-0, I feel pretty comfortable that my defense was better than his offense.
You got good defense.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like in high school, that's what you're like known as, this guy who's impossible to score on. Not that you never had off. That's a nice little cradle. But at some point, you transitioned into a guy who's like high-powered offense.
Yeah, I just felt I was a lot more strategic in the way, like I feel like I still am, but I didn't care about winning 2-1, 4-0, and then I think it was like junior, senior year of high school where I just wanted to really more my senior year where I really just wanted to score points and, winning like the Dave Schultz Award in high school for like the most valuable wrestler, and I want to win the Hodge, so I want to get as many bonus points, pins, and everything. So I just my offense just grew, and I felt really good at with my technique and everything. So I just adapted that style.
Mm-hmm. So you win the second match against Mark Hall, sets you up for Final X against David Taylor. But this is your second Final X in 2018. You wrestled Kyle Dake, but to get there, you had you were not the favorite against Derringer, right? You wrestled Alex Derringer in, I think, the World Team Trials Finals, right? And you beat him. What was, did you think you were going to beat Derringer, or were you hoping to beat Derringer back in 2018?
I knew I was going to beat him. I mean, I think I could beat anyone. It's just where my mind's at, Gable Stevenson's a good buddy of mine, and just I still think, hey, I could beat Gable Stevenson. Obviously it's not realistic, and I know that, but I'm just like, part of me thinks if I go there and I run around enough, and I know he doesn't get tired, but maybe one duck, maybe I might be a little faster. It's just the thought of me that there's always going to be a chance, and I feel like I can. And that's just I thought with Derringer. It was Dake and Derringer. Just like, okay, Zahid's good. People are saying Zahid's good, but he's not going to go through Derringer or go give Dake a match. So, but I knew, my coaches knew where I was at, and I think Ringer knew too. And it kind of showed there in the two matches.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into this. Compare heading into Final X 2018 against Kyle Dake, who went on to win his first world title that year, and heading into Final X 4 years later. It seems like yesterday. That pandemic was something, but it is 4 years later, right? Tell me how you felt going into 2018 Final X versus how you feel going into 2022 Final X. Physically, mentally, emotionally, confidence-wise, all of it.
Yeah, I think my mindset's pretty much the same. I felt really good in 2018 against Dake, and I think the two matches I wrestled, even though I lost, is some of the best wrestling I did. I mean, Dake was just better than me that day, more experienced, kind of, I guess, a better game plan. But right now, I just feel like I'm more mature. Put a little bit more size on me, and I'm just confident, and I'm happy where I'm at, and I think it's my time. I really believe that if I go out there and lose, it's an upset. As crazy as that sounds, I feel like it's an upset, that it should be my time. And David had his time in the sun, and it's my turn.
How many times have you wrestled David?
Wrestled him at Midlands. It was not fun. He got me pretty good there. And then I wrestled him at the Grand Prix of Spain. So I'm 0-2. 0-2 right now against him.
Sure. Midlands was folk style. You were in college. He was post. That was several years ago. Grand Prix, what was it close? Was it a tech? Was it a 5-point, 2-point?
Like 10-3.
Uh-huh.
Something like that. But I just think I was just too young to, I didn't grow into my body yet. I think I was up 3-0 against him in that one. Ended up getting tired, his offense where he does just constant hand fighting and stuff, and I ended up feeling it. And he ended up scoring like 10 straight points to win. But I'm just a different wrestler now. Conditioning is way better than it was then, 6 years ago. I was 20, 19, 20 years old when I wrestled him. So a lot of things have changed, so I'm just excited, it's going to be a fun match.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So he obviously won the Olympics last year. He won the Worlds, I think, the year before too. And he's second, he's been at the very top for a little while now. And you've been at 79, 86. You decided on 86, I don't know, a little while ago, but how much obviously today, in the last probably week or two, the sole focus is DT. 100% locked in, and you and Mark or whatever forming a plan and doing your thing and preparing for this one guy. Prior to that, how much or how little emphasis or thought or preparation went into David Taylor specifically?
Honestly, not too much, because I like to focus on my wrestling, but that's someone that we always kept, in the back of our minds, because that's who we're gonna go see. A
Yep.
Final X, that's gonna be the last obstacle to be. But we know, I've talked to my coaches that if I wrestle the way I can, the way I'm capable of, that I could beat anyone in the world. So I think just focusing on my abilities and just kind of keeping in mind of what he can do. The type of offense he has, the hand fighting, to just everything like that. But didn't really focus too much, honestly, on him until probably now. Now just looking at, hey, what's it gonna take to beat him or to not get scored on or whatever like that.
Are there any tactics like these are the things I need to do physically to beat him physically, and maybe these are the things I need to do to rattle him or to beat him mentally or to get on that side too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Mark's really good at that. He's like, okay, if you do this, it's really gonna, piss him off, and you continue to do this and that and those type of things. I don't want to say too much,
Yeah, of
but
course.
just Mark's really good at that. He's gonna get frustrated if you continue to do this or that. So just trying to listen to him and incorporate that in my game plan.
All right, cool, man. So, but today or this week and right now, it's all focused on David, and not
Yep.
as much just on you, right? I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, the work is done. I mean, we're a week out. Like I said, I'm not gonna get that much stronger. I'm not gonna get much more conditioning, or my technique's not gonna get better. I'm not gonna master another move right now. So it's just feeling good, feeling happy, and just knowing the work's been done and enjoying the process. All of it that's to come.
You enjoying the process, but also, you mentioned earlier, like the process and the wrestling room's the hard parts where you need to kill yourself and grind yourself down and get all the hard work happens in the room. How much do you enjoy not just wrestling, but the big stage, the NCAA finals, Madison Square Garden, Hulu Theater, like Dave, Olympic champ in New York City? How much do you like these big matches and big environments?
That's the best part of it all. Wrestling, being able to wrestle in front of thousands of people. That's why I liked wrestling at Times Square. I Beat the Streets. That was so awesome. Wrestling at Nationals, I mean, every year it's packed, sold out. So I think it just brings a different sense of like energy and in the atmosphere, and I just love it. I live for it.
Awesome, man. We're looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be there for sure. Kyle, are you going to New York City?
I am. I
Okay.
am gonna be there. Yep.
Heck yeah, that'll be great. And Kyle, I would assume you got a few things for Zahid. Do you have anything before Sweat It Out?
I do. I have one question. Over the course of time, I hear this narrative a lot from high school kids where they say, I want to be a 4-time NCAA champ, world and Olympic champ, yet nobody's ever done that. Why would you even say that in high school?
I just think it's just you got to set your goals as high as possible. I mean, why? Like, it just feels so weird to me to say I want to be a 3-time national champ. I want to be a 2-time national champ and a silver world and Olympic medalist. Like, that just sounds weird. It's got to be all of it. The goal is, like I said before, never to lose a match. How cool would that be? You're just undefeated for the rest of your life, never have to experience a loss or unhappiness or being upset. Ultimately that's the goal. You want to be as good as you can get to get there, and then if that's not enough, then the rest of the time you compete, you have all techs, all pins, just set those type of goals, and then hopefully you could meet some of them. And I think just enjoying it. Like I said, I think that's the biggest thing that I've gotten out of it. I'm just constantly happy, just living life and using wrestling as a tool for my success, and and it's just a part of my life, but it's not my whole life. Is what I tell people.
All right. Well, your next goal is to try to get 5 for 5 in our game called Sweat It Out. This is your world title on the line right here. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Number 1, who played the role of Koba in the movie Warrior?
No clue.
He was an NCAA champion, world champion, Olympic champion.
I am terrible with this.
All right. His name's Kurt Angle.
Okay.
You know who that is?
I know the name. I just didn't know who. I know who Kurt is. But.
All right. Number 2, Kobe Bryant was raised in what foreign country?
Want to say Italy?
Yep.
France? Italy. Yep.
You said Italy. We're taking that one. All right. Number 3, who did you defeat in the first round of the 2015 California High School State Championships?
Oh, wow.
Wow, the first round.
Yep.
Gotta pass. I don't know.
Well, let's go second round.
I don't
Let's
know.
go finals.
I only got first round.
I can tell you who I lost to at the NCAA finals my sophomore year, or the high school state finals my sophomore year.
Well, let's hear that.
All right, go ahead.
Even though that's not the answer.
Sean Lewis, or no, Sean. Yeah, Sean Lewis. I think it was Sean from Lemoore. But yeah, I remember my losses a lot more than my wins. And first round, that's crazy.
I know. That's why I had to make it tough.
Who was it?
Bobby Posados of Grace Davis.
Oh, you see, I would have never guessed that.
He's tough, man.
I'm
bringing the heat on Zahid.
Number 4, who was Arizona State's first 2-time NCAA champion?
I know we've been talking about Larkin, but I don't think he was the first 2-time, was he?
I don't think he even won 2. He went 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not Culp. I should know this.
I know. You never made a world team, though.
You're gonna have to give it to me.
Hold on. Is it Zahid?
No.
Okay.
No, there's some of them.
Okay.
There's actually been 3 total. This is the first. He's one of them. Dan St. John. Dan St. John.
Who's the other one?
It is Marcus Malika.
See, I know Marcus. He's been over my house to train, but okay, that's good to know. I'll try to remember that. Marcus and Dan.
And then we're gonna see if you can save face with a final win here. What NFL player has the most receiving yards and receiving touchdowns for a career? I'm gonna give you hints. He played for the Niners.
Not Owens. I know the name. I'm throwing a blank.
His last name is a food.
Give us an era, a years, like a decade.
1980s.
I used to watch Pan's Places on ESPN. I think he had a little skit with them. Well, I'll know it when you tell me the name.
All right.
And I'm that was him.
His name is Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. See, I could have told you that if it's just hearing the name, then I remember. I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Terrible with this stuff, guys.
Man, what was that? 2 out of 5?
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. Kyle,
yeah, that's why I stick to wrestling. That's why I stick to wrestling.
Bringing the heat. Yeah. I think you have a better chance against David Taylor than you do against Kyle Klingman.
Yeah, that 5 for 5. I don't know if I want to do that ever again.
Sometimes he gives softball questions, and sometimes he just knuckleballs and curveballs. And
I mean, I thought it was mid-range.
I got the Kobe one. That's my dude.
Yeah. You got that one. So yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Well, all right, Zahid. I know you got practice coming up in just a few minutes. Yep. Probably just in those doors right behind you, but. We're going to let you off the hook here and let you get down to it. But we want to give you the final word for this interview before next time we'll see you. It's probably New York City.
I just want to thank you guys for having me on. I just want to give a shout out to all my supporters, my fans, Team Sunkist, Team Adidas, just friends, families that have supported me throughout, my career. And, I hope to make everyone proud, June 8th at Final X.
Awesome. Zahid, thanks so much, buddy. Have a great day, and we'll see you in New York City.
Yep, we'll see you.
Thank you. All right, Klingman with the freaking tough questions.
I mean, I thought it was just mid-range. I wasn't trying to be tough. I don't know. I thought you might get a couple of those, but when you get on the hot seat, sometimes it's hotter than you think.
Yeah, and like he said, I'll stick to wrestling, so he's really good at that. And man, I'm really pumped. He said if Taylor beats me, it's an upset. Good for him, right? Good for him for thinking that. And that's the mindset. Dude. That's the mindset I'm sure it would take to beat somebody like David Taylor. And I'm super excited to see it. I think it'd be a great matchup. Hopefully, I'd love to see it go 3. That's always exciting when you see something go to the final 3 matches. But that's going to do it. That's good. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts. Sorry.
No, it is. It's fun. Those 3-match series, especially when it's high caliber like that, it's a lot of fun. So can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. So that'll do it for today's show. We're going to have Jangelo Hancock on the show tomorrow, so I hope you tune in. But for Kyle Klingman, I'm Mark Bader. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.